Hari Om, and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Vedanta Dhyana. As part of that, we have taken up Sri Dakshinamurthy Stotra. And today, let us contemplate on line number 2.3, Tri-Bhuvana-Gurum-esham, Dakshinamurti-Devam, and 2.4, Janana-Maranna-Duhkhac-Cheda, Dakssam Namaami. So these are the two lines for contemplation today. Let us begin. Shall we begin with Ashwini ji?
Yes, sir. Yes. So here we are talking about the sages who are sitting near at the feet of Lord Dakshinamurti. So here in this shloka we are talking about, we seeing Dakshinamurti as the guru of the three worlds. That is here, like Vijayji has put the picture here. So the different lokas, Atala, Vitala, there are all these Patala lokas, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala, Mahatala, Prasada, Patala, and then there are also the Swarga lokas. So Dakshinamurti is the lord of all the lokas, the Swarga lokas, the Patala loka, and the earthly plane. So not much Vijayji here. So next slide, can you just put in next? And Dakshinamurti severes the sorrows resulting from the cycles of birth and death. So he is the Supreme Lord who will who removes us from the jivas from the repeated birth, the cycle of the repeated birth and death. So I bow down to that, to Dakshinamurti, who is the Supreme Lord, who frees us from this cycles.
Thank you, Ashwini ji. Who would like to go next? Sarvanji, are you ready?
Yeah, okay. But yeah. Yeah, first point. So is what we are seeing is Dakshinamurti is the guru of the. So we are the plane of existence is being divided into these three worlds. One is this suffering or deep suffering, and then enjoyment, and the one in between, mix of both suffering and enjoyment. Wherever, so one can basically be in any one of these planes. And all these three, wherever you are, to get out of this, there is the ruler is one to whom one needs to pray. Right? So he's in because at the end, the repeated birth and death is going to put the being in one of these three worlds, right, or the multiple planes. And the point is to like get out of it. And that's where like one needs the guru, and that guru is Dakshinamurti. And, yeah,
that's how you interpret these two.
Vijayji, one more point I wanted to add.
Sure, please.
So
related
these
to
planes,
this previous.
Yeah, this previous, both of them together. So basically, the plainness of existence is nothing but our mind. when we are fearful, sorrowful, all that, we are in the lower planes of existence. When we are in Sattva Guna, when we are in more peaceful or happy, all that, we are in Sargaloka. So basically, when we are with the Guru, through Atmagyana, he makes us realize that we are not the self, and we are beyond these different states of the mind. So because of that, we come out of it, and we are able to come out of all these. This is only the circle of birth and death which happens each moment. Each moment is a new birth. It's because of the previous vasanas or previous tendencies. You're creating it again and again. And when that is because due to Atmagyana, when you come out of it, when you see that I'm not all this which is happening, you come out of it, and through his jnana, he severs the cycle of birth and death. You're out of it. You doesn't again come back to the same thing.
Very nice. Thank you, Ashwini-ji. Thank you, Sarananji. Who would like to go next? Deepa-ji, would you like to share your views on these two?
Everyone has told, sir. Actually, there is nothing much to say, but I had a doubt.
Yeah.
People do various things to go to Swarga and all, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, is there really a Swarga?
Okay.
Or is it just a saying? Like you'll go to Naraka if you do this, you'll go to Swarga if you do that.
Wonderful. Very nice question. Very important question. Yeah, so let's take that up and let's listen to everyone's views on that, and then we can deepen these two shlokas with that. Thank you, Deepa-ji. Padma-ji, would you like to share your views?
Yes, sir. One understanding about the lokas, I think both of them, Ashwini-ji, already shared it. I also think that this is also a reference to our three bodies, three bodies that we have: the gross, the subtle, and the causal body. So usually, I think whatever we experience, all this is just at the first two levels. And the ignorance at the causal level is the cause for that, the cycle of birth and death. So if we realize like who we are truly, if we understand that first, then I think the other two, managing the other two becomes relatively easy, is how I understand it. So once you know who you are, then functioning in the world becomes easier. I think that is the next shloka is also referring to that one. So yeah, so that is how you once you know who you are, then obviously you start practicing what is needed to be in that. We come into the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, meditation. All these practices start, and then the purification happens. And when that happens, we are not worried or attached to what is happening with the gross and the subtle body and the experiences relating to that.
Very nice.
Yes, that's all.
Would you like to share your views on Deepaji's question? Is there Swarga? Does somebody go to Swarga? Is there Naraka?
Yeah, I have had this question for a long time. In fact, many things I did before I came into all these studies is okay, I have to do good, I have to do good. Even if that is troubling me from within, I have to do good. Something like that was there within me. But I think it is all a concoction again of our mind. The real Swarga and Naraka is, I think, within the mind only. Because once you know who you truly are, there is only you are there, nothing else is there. So there is no question of any of these lokas that are mentioned here. Either that or you are everything. So all the lokas are also you. So there is no question of going to Swarga, Naraka, and the karma relating to it. Because usually when we talk about Swarga or Naraka, it is basically very, very action oriented, isn't it? Like this action will give me punya. This action will give me papa. That kind of perception is there. Whereas in when we come into the study itself, we are talking about nishkamya karma. We are talking about karma where it should be for the service. It should be for your own evolution, for the betterment of who you think you are. So there is no question of tying yourself down to the results that those actions will create. So when you're not oriented, when you're not attached to the result, then the question of papa and punya doesn't arise, isn't it? It is just that you do what is needed. Yes, sir. That's all.
So in summary, Swarga or Naraka is a state of the mind. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yes, sir. It is who. See what is Swarga? We have some understanding of what is Swarga. Probably it's a place where everything is beautiful. There is no suffering. Something like that. And that image is not something based on what we know or what we have seen, right? It is based on somebody telling you what is Swarga, or you reading somewhere, or maybe you watching somewhere that this is Swarga. And then probably, where everything is ugly, you have, big demons, asuras and all that. That is what is normally from childhood. We see all those things as hell, and where people are beaten, all those stuff. And here it is the opposite. So this is something which is coming as a conditioning to us. So it is within our mind only. That's what I feel.
Very nice. Thank you, Padmaji.
Thank you, sir.
Shailaja ji, do you have any opinion on these two shlokas? Any viewpoints to share on these two shlokas? And also on Deepaji's question?
Yes, sir. And Deepaji's question, I think our mind itself is all the three, sir. Many a times I felt that it is temporary. I feel all these three. It doesn't remain permanently in our minds. Or even it as we move forward, it disappears. Sometimes I feel some growth in the plant. I feel that itself is a swarga for me. And some sufferings, if someone is suffering, I feel bad for them. At that moment, I'm in their place. I feel that is the other sorrow phase of their life, and even that is not a permanent thing. Moving forward, that will disappear. So all these three, and at that moment, I think if we bow down to the Guru, or we surrender to Guru under his teachings, all these will we can forget that and move forward. That's what I feel, sir.
On these two shlokas, do you have any viewpoint to share? Your understanding to share?
All these, I feel it is straightforward. That is, who were near to the Guru of the three worlds, the Lord himself personified as Dakshinamurthy-Devam. That is, who are sitting under his feet. So who are sitting near to the one, expert is the sorrows resulting from the cycles of birth and deaths about onto that Dakshinamurti. So it's pretty much straightforward. I guess.
All right. Thank you, Shailaja ji. Shubha ji?
Yes, sir. Yeah. He is the guru of the three worlds, and Dakshinamurti himself, he is the one who is fearless, and all our fears come out of come when we see that we are going to face death. So death is what creates that fear in all of us. But here Dakshinamurti is the Lord of the death. He's so absolutely fearless, and he's not scared of death. Death is nothing but it is born out of ignorance. There is no death, actually speaking, because consciousness doesn't have birth and death. So when we look at the second one, it's the jnana which will help us, that will take away all our sorrows. And the sorrow is nothing but it is coming out of the cycle of birth and death. So I go to that Dakshinamurti. Daksha also means efficient. So here Dakshinamurti is the Lord who is removing our ignorance, and by being devoted to that Sri Guru Dakshinamurti, even our sorrows and suffering will also go.
Very nice. Any viewpoint on Deepaji's question? Is there a place called Swarga, Naraka?
No. As per me, it's all in our mind. We create Swarga and Naraka. It is right. It is right here, right now, is what the thing is. I can create a Swarga right now, and I can create a Naraka right now. It's all up to me, and it's all in my mind.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Shubhaji.
Thank you.
I see that Satyaji has joined. Hariom, Satyaji.
Hariom, Vijayji.
So right now we are contemplating on these two shlokas. This Dakshinamurti Stotra, Tri-Bhuvana-Gurum-esham, Dakshinamurti-Devam, and Janana-Maranna-Duhkhac-Cheda, Dakssam, Namaami. In addition to that, there was a question from Deepaji. Is there a place called Swarga? Is there a place called Naraka? Does somebody go there? So these are the three things that you can share your views on, Satyaji, on 2.3, 2.4, and the question from Deepaji.
Yes, Vijayji. So regarding that question, yeah, what she said, I agree with that. So it is in the mind. Just like everything has a pointer. We refer to God as someone. See, instead of saying I am Shiva, from the beginning itself, we have a pointer that there is someone up above there as God. And after we come to a particular level of jnana, again, that God is you. And the whole world is God. That is how there are levels of understanding. It is not that all the levels have to be crossed in the same way. Similarly, Naraka or Swarga also, it is a state of mind. It is not somewhere out there where after doing this, you go there. But after doing a good thing, you are in Swarga because your mind becomes that. And after doing something bad, you obviously have a lot of sense of guilt, or the whole drama that goes in our mind itself creates Naraka. So everything is in the making, how we make of our mind. That's all. So just as initially we say God is seeing us, in fact, again, God is nothing but consciousness. So if we are conscious of whatever we are doing, anything done with unawareness always leads to Naraka, or even a mental confusion also is Naraka. When there is no clarity, it is as close, we can say it is Naraka. So that clarity, everything done with awareness and being good, doing good, all these feel good here and now. So that is what I feel is Swarga itself.
Very nice. On these two lines, do you have any further points to add? 2.3 and 2.4.
I just have to look at the meaning, Vijayji.
Yeah, sure. So 2.3, you can see here.
This is who was sitting near to the
Guru of the three worlds. So prior to that, the shloka begins with Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam. Sitting on the ground near the banyan tree. Sakala Muni Jananam Jnana Dataram Arat. Were all the munis who were sitting near to the bestower of the knowledge, that is Dakshinamurti. Tri-Bhuvana-Gurum-esham Dakshinamurti-Devam. So who were sitting near to the Guru of the three worlds, Tri-Bhuvana-Gurum-esham. So Dakshinamurti is being referred as Tri-Bhuvana-Gurum-esham. The Lord himself personified as Dakshinamurti-Deva. Janana-Maranna-Duhkhac-Cheda Dakssam Namaami. So he's an expert in severing. Severing what? The sorrows. Sorrows born out of what? Cycles of birth and death. So this is the essence of these 4 lines. Today it is on 2.3 and 2.4.
Okay. So what I understand is Dakshinamurti, or for that matter, I would say any guru, is like a sword which cuts down all the ajnana. So birth and death, because of ajnana, birth and death cause happiness or sorrow. So that happiness and sorrow is cut by this sword of jnana, which is nothing but the guru. The guru himself is a embodiment of jnana, and that is how I understand this.
Very nice. Thank you, Satyaji.
Thank you.
Would like to listen to Ashwini ji and Saravanan ji on the question that Deepa ji raised. Is there anything to share, Saravanan ji?
Yeah. The one that is going through the experience is the mind, and so these places, they are not like physically, they don't physically exist in the sense it's like there is another world where one gets transported for Swarga or Naraka. It is what the mind goes through, because we can see that and one can see it by looking at the world that we experience, how different beings go through basically, right? Someone like goes through a severe suffering, and like it's from more than outside, I would say, like it's what one like the mind goes through. Basically, it's the mind that goes through these, while because mind is the one that is finally experiencing through the body, and mind is the place where joy, suffering, the different ranges of suffering, everything is going on. And so based on the karma, there is finally the result is experienced by the mind. And the one and like from Vedanta, what we see is the self is beyond the mind, and that doesn't go through any suffering, and that's what that's the only real one. And the real one doesn't go through any suffering. It's the it's the the derived entity or the reflected consciousness, or like the ignorant self, the mind is the one that goes through this.
Thank you, Saranji. Ashwini ji, your view?
Like the others, I would like to say it's the mind, which is the different lokas. But in addition, I'd also like to add that the mind, you are only creating these lokas. See, the mind is capable of creation. Okay, everything is your creation. It's so you can create Swargaloka, you can choose to create it. So the different lokas, you can the mind is only creating everything. So you can do it. The mind can create this.
But Ashwini, it's I feel it's not that instant creation, rather it's a result of the past karma.
If you think that way, but if you take the stance as Brahman, then everything is, you're free from all these, right?
No, yeah.
So
it doesn't apply to Brahman right now. That's
so
it's
also, okay, that's what
two parallel beings.
It is how you take the stances. So you can always choose to go back to the self and be free from this. You can always, every moment you can go back.
Yeah.
And
at the end, it's the mind that drives the repeated birth, and so that's the one it's constantly going through up and down the scale, trying to figure out.
Yes.
Anything more, Ashwini ji?
I thought I'd come, but somehow I lost it. So Vijay ji will be able to say. But somehow it came to me that.
Back. Yeah. Thank you, Ashwini ji. Hariom Rupa ji.
Hariom, sir. Hariom, everyone.
You've taken up an important question from Deepa ji. She's asking, is there a place called Swarga and Naraka? Does somebody go there? That is one question. In a way, it is related to these two lines that we're contemplating. Line number 2.3 and 2.4 from Dakshinamurti, where 2.3 is saying Dakshinamurti is the Lord of the three worlds, and 2.4 is saying he is the one who enables you to sever the sorrow born out of birth and death. So would you like to share your views, Rupaji? These are the three distinct things, line number 2.3, 2.4, and then the question from Deepaji. You can mix and match, and you can share your view and all of it together, or you can say one by one, however you feel appropriate.
I used to think that there is something called Swarga. It is some kind of different world, and Naraka also. But I got to know that these are both in our minds only. This actually doesn't exist physically. There are these two things. The soul, not the soul. We will have to undergo all these things, the sufferings or the pleasure in our minds and nowhere else. This is what I have heard. And I don't know about Dakshinamurthy Stotra.
Okay. So your viewpoint is there is no Swarga or Naraka, and on the Dakshinamurti would like to hear. Is that what I'm understanding?
I know, I was saying that I don't know anything, how I could relate it to Dakshinamurti.
These two lines. Okay, all right. Yeah, but you can independently also share your understanding of these two lines.
No, sir, I can't.
Okay. All right.
So you just wanted to add
Yeah.
my interpretation to your that next slide bubble.
Bubble. Huh?
So that's the breaking the bubble is the waking up from this so-called dream, and the one who is watching is what like can help.
Can help.
Who's not going through or in the bubble.
In the bubble. Okay, very nice. Yeah. Okay, so there is one beautiful story. I think I first heard it in some Osho talk. So somebody comes to Osho's ashram and says that he is suffering from severe stomach ache. And upon examination, he says that there is a fly that has entered his stomach, and from that day it is buzzing in his stomach, and he has a severe pain. And he has gone to many specialists. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to find it. But this man has a very clear understanding that it entered. He saw it entering, and from that day onwards, the pain has started. And he says that I went everywhere, and as a last resort, I've come to the ashram, because I believe if nothing else helps, maybe this can. And Osho says, I can certainly help you, but you have to undergo a certain particular ritual. He says, no problem, I will. So he asks him to come prepared the next day, and he makes him lie down on a table and asks him to close the eyes. And then around him, there are a lot of these people who are chanting certain mantras. And then he says to close his eyes. And then, this man feels the hands of, the guru on his right from his stomach, all the way from the face to the stomach. And suddenly he finds him, holding his stomach. He says, yes, I can feel it. I can feel it. Is this where you are feeling the pain? And the man says, yes. And then suddenly he says, okay, I caught it. And then the man hears a tongue sound on a plate. And then he says, okay, now after the chanting ends, slowly open your eyes. My God, such a big fly. I'm really glad that you came on time. And then after the chanting ends, he opens the eyes and he finds a dead fly on the plate. And everybody is, wow, amazing. How could you be with such a big fly in your stomach for so long? Really must have been such a pain. And he says, oh my God, I'm so relieved. Thank you. Okay. So he walks away. So this is the story. So now, like that, in some cases, a thought that enters our mind is that fly that keeps buzzing. And there is no way to remove that fly. Sometimes the guru may have to mimic a fly being killed and on the plate to show that it's been removed. It's in medical terminology, sometimes it is called as placebo effect. The guru gives the one of the way to test a particular medicine, whether it is really going to work or not, is by making it go through what is called as a placebo effect. So apparently they create two groups. To one group, they give simply a sugar pill, but making them believe that they're giving the pill for that whatever the ill that they're going through. And if at all the number of people who come out of that ill, out of that sugar pill is more, then it's as good as that other pill, which is supposedly full of all the chemicals, right? So that's how they test out placebo effect, or at least that is my understanding of what is placebo effect, how they test. So when a sugar pill removes whatever that ill, What is that is removing the ill? It is the belief that, whatever I'm consuming is a medicine. So in the first place, then, you can even take the question to the next level. Okay, so then whatever that was there, the disease, was that also then a reality? Because if the disease can be removed by a simple sugar pill, then, even that disease, whatever that ill, also was a similarly made up thing. So in that sense, you and I can make up so many things. You and I make up the whole life. You and I make up the life that, this very world where you and I seem to be functioning, where you and I seem to be thinking that you and I are sharing the same world. Indeed, we are not. Your world is entirely different from my world, is entirely different from each of the other person's world here, and it is entirely different from a dog's world. Why? Because each one looks at the same situation or the same scene and interprets in a totally different way. So they create their own world. It's like a bone lying on the street is probably a scene of food for a dog, is a scene of distaste for maybe a person. Like that, it's the same bone, but the interpretation based on that, it is food or something that I have to throw away to somebody else. So like that, when you look at any situation, same situation, the same situation, so somebody may go to a temple and then look at that idol and say, wow, such a divine place. Another person may come and say, what waste of time. People are simply standing in front of a stone. So depending upon one's own inner viewpoint, inner evolution, situations of life can appear in so many distinct colors. So at the end of the day, it is the same white light that appears in 7, as rainbow colors when it goes to the prism. So the prism, equivalent to the prism, is your mind. What is mind? Nothing but the impressions, the place where you have gathered all the impressions, where supposedly your thinking happens. So that place called the mind is like the prism. And when the light falls, it splits the light into its own colors. In other words, your own interpretation of the same scene. And depending upon your own interpretation, the same situation may look like what a wonderful and divine situation. Or the same situation may look like, my God, such a cruelty to me and such a suffering to me. Because ultimately it is you who is running all these stories in your mind. You are the movie director. So you have complete freedom to narrate the story in your mind. You may not be able to narrate the story outside. You may not be able to change the situation outside as you may feel like it. But at least in your mind, the way you're interpreting, the way you are looking at the movie, you are creating your own Swarga or Naraka. What is Swarga at the end of the day? There's a beautiful statement in our Ghati ashram. So the Ghati ashram is called as the home of the masters, where there is message of all the great masters. But before you can enter the home of the masters, it's a 3-story building. It's in the 2nd floor where there is a message of all the great masters. You have to enter. At the gate, there is a main statement. Nobody who's gone to Swarga or Naraka has come back and said where it is. At least I and you don't know where Swarga or where Naraka is. What you and I definitely have a chance of is whether you and I can make the current moment a Swarga or Naraka. So shall we do that? If you are interested to do that, come. Here is the path. It begins with a Ganesha Mandir. Because Ganesha is the energy or the god or the Devata who bestows right knowledge. who can remove the obstacles in the mind called as ignorance. And then, you are led to Saraswati, because it is Ma Saraswati whose blessings can give you all the right Vidya. And then you come to Guru Dattatreya, because Dattatreya, like Dakshinamurti, is an embodiment of all the knowledge that is there. He has 4 dogs. The 4 Vedas are his dogs. They're constantly telling you. And then he's teaching you what you are interested in. You want worldly knowledge? Take. It is in Vedas. You want some power? Take. It is in Vedas. You want to know all that is there to know? You want to be in freedom? That is also there. So like that, then it is led to the ground floor where, you have all these kinds of confusions, tensions, worries. Slowly you're moving into knowledge. And then when you're ready for the knowledge, you enter the second floor. And at the entry of the second floor, you have to give up something to receive that knowledge. Very important. And very, very important. It's not your wealth, your money, your possession that you need to give up. It's simply your anger, your irritation, your worry, your tension, your who I think I am. If you're willing to leave them, like how you would leave your slippers outside a home and enter the home. If you're willing to leave these, then here is where the wealth is, the second floor, where all the great masters from different places have given different divine messages. And then there is a third floor where you sit and you simply be in silence with the messages that you have seen. And depending upon your own inclination, your own makeup, any of those messages can take root in you and be a big tree, a divine tree, a kalpavruksha, a kamadhenu. So like that, life offers you various spectrums of existence. Life offers you various sounds of the music. Life offers you various colors of the canvas on which you are going to paint. So it's entirely up to you how you want to play this. So there is all kinds of knowledge. So at the end of the day, Swarga or Naraka may appear very true for someone. There is no way that's why some people are willing to even kill themselves in the name of reaching that Swarga, no? Supposedly. And their definition of Swarga is, look at that. In some religions, the Swarga has all these virgins. In somebody's definition of Swarga, there are all these flying creatures. In somebody else's definition of Swarga, there are people wearing different kinds of dresses, dancing, constantly drinking. So you and I can make up any kind of an imagination. You and I can create any kind of a dream. There is no taboo on the dream. But what is the truth? Something that may not be changing. So a loka is something which changes. Any of the planes of so-called, if you see this picture, so the planes of existence, those planes of existence, just like, your waking world or your dream world, are places where, there's a constant change happening. So one of the simplest questions you can ask is, if there's a change happening, is the change the truth? Or the one who is aware of the change, what is the truth? So all these stories about Swarga and Naraka, who is the one who is aware of? Who is the one who is choosing to examine? Who is the one who is choosing to agree or disagree? So who is the one who is watching all these kinds of various stories, various impressions of life. At the end of the day, in a way, looking at it, where are you seeing all this? In a place called your mind. And what are you seeing? Something called as a thought. And what is a thought? Something that appears and disappears, just like a soap bubble. A thought occurred, it was there, disappeared. But who are you who's seeing this, all this magic? Who is that? Is that also going through all these changes? All right. Any other viewpoints or questions? Yes, Sarunji.
Yeah, this we still have the concept of cause and effect and this drishti srishti. And is it that when you are not aware, or like when you are ignorant, the cause and effect applies, where like whatever one does, the result is what one goes through. While when you have the knowledge, or when you get the jnana, then you move to, you start seeing it in the drishti srishti, where like you create the world, you create what you are going through. Is it that switches the ignorance to knowledge? Because I did say initially that what one goes through is based on the past actions. But then like we also, it is also right that one creates the world that is experiencing. Both are true. If both have to be true, then they are true. They have to be true in under certain conditions.
Okay, can we put the entire thing into a question? So can you frame the question?
Yeah, if cause and effect is true, okay, then you cannot create the world that you are experiencing, that you go through, because you did that, and so you have to experience this.
But what about what are you doing now?
That you're yeah, so you are going to, so basically what the karma you but that is for the future. You do a karma now and you experience it in the future, right? But the drishti srishti is like, I create the moment, I create the world right now. What I see is out of my own creation now, instant. There is no past, there is no future, there is only now.
So what is the question? The question is,
So that's what I'm saying. So
is there a contradiction between
both are
cause and
true. First, yeah, both are true. Both are true or not? And if true, under what conditions both are true? Because it cannot be true at the same time. Because one says that it's what you see now is from the past, and the other one says that right now you create it.
All right. So shall we take it up as a separate question?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, yeah. So let me write the question that way, when we hear everybody's view, they are clear what is the question we are seeing. So the question that you're raising is
Cause and effect.
And effect true, or is srishti drishti true? Is this the question?
Yeah. Or I say drishti srishti. This is, yeah.
So the question is one of them true, or both of them true, or under what conditions? That is the question for contemplation, right? Wonderful, very nice.
Is it clear or for others also?
Yeah, as we hear from others, we will know.
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but this is how the question has been framed: is cause and effect true, or is Srishti Drishti true? It's like two distinct
Because
topics in a way. That
because
is
if
how
cause
you
and
are
effect
currently
is
framing.
true, you cannot change the now because it is the effect of the past. You have to go through it.
No, is it with reference to action itself that you are saying, or is it reference to what is happening currently in your life? What is the reference? Why is this question coming up? Like, I want to understand that.
Yeah. So the current moment, let's take a baby born with some disease, usual example given, right? That being cannot create, or maybe now because there is no mind for that one. Okay. Yeah, because mind is always there.
So you're in the mode of now answering your own question.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because the first one comes only when the mind is not active yet.
No, why I asked that question is you also mentioned somewhere when you were explaining this question, you were talking about here and now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is why I asked, what is
Yeah,
this?
so the cause and effect theory is you do something in the past and like you face it now. Right? What one if I'm able to sit and listen to this Vedanta, maybe the answer given is there's some good deed done in the past. So I'm able to sit and figure out instead of instead of maybe seeing the breaking news and like going through all this confusion in the mind of like how and where this world will go and end, kind of thing, right? That's where I usually apply this cause and effect. While then there is this is also true that I decide, like I am creating this world right now. And that comes out of consciousness. I'm consciously, only if I'm conscious, I can create. I use that option of that freedom of choice to create. If one is not conscious, then like is driven, like then like they will say that, you know what, I'm helpless. I just have to go through this. Right? So that consciousness comes out of this jnana, that you know what is real or like who you are. Then like you can break out of this helplessness. Right? So I feel that was the switch that that is making one possible to create that world to see and break away from this past influencing or creating the moment now. Because we all agree that cause and effect is true, right? The karma theory is true.
Who is saying it is true?
The one who is experiencing.
And who is that who is experiencing?
Yeah.
And who is that who is experiencing?
Yeah, the mind, the ego mind. Yeah.
Okay. And who is that?
The derived life from the reflected consciousness, I would put it.
So how is it existing in reality? Is it reality? Is it existing?
It's not existing by itself. It's existing out of the real one. Yeah, the real one who is always there.
So
same
a,
instance, yeah.
a so-called fictional character,
Fictional character.
which itself is appearing and disappearing,
Mm.
is claiming that something is truth about what is happening to it.
Because that character wants to know why I am going through this, and so that
So
character
which
is
means what? Which means what?
Mm.
Can it ever be answered?
Oh, okay, because it's there. So
Because it is,
mm.
you're answering to a dream character, and the dream character will forget that. Another dream character will arise.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's why they say that there are for unknown there are only questions. Whatever answer you give, you cannot satisfy.
Sir, I have something coming up in relation to this. Could you just say if the understanding is in the right, I mean, it's correct. So what I feel is, although the theory of karma is true and all that, but I feel that this life, say my life currently, it is only a series of actions, isn't it? This cause and effect that I did this or I must have done this is what is the result that I'm experiencing now, is again a story created by the mind, the analyzing mind, which is never in the present, isn't it?
But this karma theory is given by Vedanta only. Vedanta gives you this.
But isn't that an explanation isn't that an explanation that you want to give to that character who needs all these answers?
Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah.
Like just now you said, you mentioned a statement. I'm not remembering the exact words, but you said it wants to know why it is going through this. Okay, so that is again some identity that you have created. Is the identity wants to know for
I didn't create.
That cannot be in the present, isn't it? That cannot be in the present, isn't it? In the present, it is just a series. See, right now I am speaking. There is something happening where sounds are getting produced out of my mind, out of my mouth. But there is a whole lot of thing going on in the background, in the head. I'm bringing up thoughts or what I read from various sources all at one single time, and these sentences are coming out now, which somebody else is hearing. Even I am able to hear it, but the thing is, in this moment, I am not thinking about cause and effect. I am not thinking about karma. Even if I think that I must have done some punya sometime before to even come into the spiritual world, this is all also an explanation that I am giving to my ego only, isn't it? It's a spiritual ego.
See, the point is, I think I can relate this to Guruji's explanation on the prakriyas, where he said one concept is given, it's like that first step, and I was completely convinced of that concept of karma theory. I moved to the next step. Now what I hear is it is not. Don't bring that karma theory also with you now. You have moved on to the next step, because that was given to the lower seeker.
Correct. You have to let go of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You cannot have one leg on the stair below and the other one there. You have to raise the other one also together with this.
At a different level, the explanation given is different.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So see, for Ishvara, if you let's say Ishvara, Ishvara is in terms of the creation, is the Lord of this entire creation. Okay, so the Vedantic concept of Ishvara. And for Ishvara, Srushti is spontaneous.
Mm, mm,
It is a sum
Mm.
total of all the karmas, and it is spontaneous. But Ishvara himself is above that.
mm,
So none of the creation can affect.
mm,
So in that way of looking at it, like a movie screen is completely in freedom, irrespective of whatever the movie it is showing. The screen is never going to be contaminated just because of the movie that is shown. You may show a divine movie, you may show a horror movie, you may show a thriller movie, you may show whatever movie, but the screen is going to remain the same.
Yeah.
Screen is never contaminated,
Agreed.
right? So, but when the movie is being shown,
Mm.
there is a certain sequence and there is a certain order in which the scenes are shown in order to make sense for someone sitting as an audience. Now, each of the audience interprets the scene in their own unique ways. Somebody may whistle to the hero, somebody may whistle to the villain, somebody may whistle to the song, somebody may say everything is crap, so it doesn't matter. So each of the audience has a different interpretation of the scene that is going on. So that's the wide variety of creation that exists. In that, where do you identify yourself? Depending upon where you identify yourself, you see this entire thing from that viewpoint. So the entire thing, if you see it from the standpoint of the light, there is never a movie. Where is a movie for light, which is primarily the source of the movie? There is no movie, because light has no other consciousness. And if you look at it from the standpoint of the screen, which is the surface on which the movie appears, the screen also will say, okay, doesn't really matter what movie is being shown. I am ever free. Now, each of the character sitting as an audience will obviously have certain interpretation. So, therefore, depending upon from where you look at this situation, each one looks correct from that viewpoint. There is a certain kramabaddhate. There is a certain way of understanding. There is a certain logical way of understanding each one's viewpoint. But is there only one viewpoint there? Is any one of them the only reality? What is that? And what is that reality? Which of these distinct viewpoints is a more unchanging way of looking at the whole phenomena that is happening? And when you look at all the aspects, you also come to realize that all these other aspects are also there, but they're temporal. They appear and disappear. So the viewpoint that the audience the Prekshaka number 1 had is only during the movie. The Prekshaka 2 had is only during the movie. What the scene was being shown was only during the movie. So like that, some of the phenomena have a temporal aspect, time aspect, from this time to this time only. Some aspects are beyond that. So is any one of them the truth? Depending upon from where you see, oh, the movie itself is truth, because it is happening right now. But when you see the whole scene, then you can say, okay, some are happening only in a particular period of time. Some are there all the time. So you choose, you pick and choose. Now, do you need to change the particular scene that is being projected on the whatever the scene, then you have to go back to being a director, shoot the movie, come back and now play. It will change. But till then, that theater owner may be playing the same movie because he has to make money. So until a certain viewpoint comes up in the world, all the media and other people may be peddling certain viewpoints. And when another more rational and more acceptable viewpoint comes, then they start peddling that. So like that, it's all a matter of which viewpoint that you choose to accept in this whole situation. What Vedanta is saying is, these are all the distinct phenomena, and this is how it is happening. And it is not forcing you or me to take any one particular viewpoint. It is saying it is very much possible to come out of the suffering. How? By realizing the truth, by realizing how everything is happening. That's all the only claim of Vedanta is, that you can be in total moksha, that you can be in total freedom. And what is the cause of your suffering? Is not understanding this entire mechanism, how entire thing is working, and having an ignorance about what is happening. So it is only developing a knowledge about how everything is happening. Now, how do you apply this is up to you.
Sir, is Srishti referring to the line that Ashwini ji said, that we are the creators of our mind and we can create it?
Yeah.
You are the creator of your suffering.
Yeah.
You can be free from suffering. That's what ultimately it really means.
So the enlightened
Most often, we think of Srishti in terms of, oh, I'll be able to create a house now. In a way, yes. In a way, yes. But before you go there, right now, you can be totally free of whether there is a house, whether there is a hut. For someone who was woken up, like in Bhajagovindam we saw, the sky is his roof, and the earth is his floor. And the stars are the lights, and the wind is the AC.
Biggest house.
So it all depends upon, whether you call a house as 4 walls with a certain tile and some fan whirring. What is the house for you? So depending upon your own drushti means what? Your own inner vision. The srushti changes. Doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly you will pull the sun from its place and then say, okay, now I don't want sun. So that is not what is meant here. You can be completely free from suffering, because your suffering is because of your own drushti.
Sir, sorry, please.
An enlightened person, if he is in suffering, by applying
that's a contradictory beginning, right? An enlightened person in suffering, it naturally means that he is not in suffering. He is not enlightened. Suffering means what? Suffering means it's a mental creation, that I am getting turmoiled, I'm getting riled up, I'm getting worried, anxious, tense, because of what is the change that is happening in a place called my mind.
But if he is in pain, how will he create
Pain
a
is
mind?
different from suffering. Pain is very physical, no? Pain is very physical. Suffering is your mental creation. See, if I take a stick and beat you, you will be in pain. But the fact that I beat you after even 10 days can make you feel irritated, angry, upset, or sad, crying. That is suffering. Memory causes suffering. What is happening right now is very existential, pain. Pain is a very physical thing. Pain comes and goes. Suffering, depending upon your own drishti, can get stuck to you for a very long time. Because until you choose to get separated from that memory object, you will continue to look at that memory object and continue to suffer. Because ultimately, please look at it, Deepaji, you and I are playing the game of life with something called as in a place called as a mind. And in the mind, what is there? In the mind, what is really there?
The past.
The past. And what is past? Something about something that happened and a memory of it. It's like a snapshot. You take a camera, you take a photo, and you keep looking at that photo and keep saying, oh, look how wonderful I'm looking. Look how wonderful I'm looking. Or saying, look how ugly I'm looking. Look how ugly I'm looking. Either of them is
My choice.
your choice. And realizing that, it's your choice is the freedom. That's all you and I are doing. We are constantly dealing with memory. If you go into a little bit of physics, no? What you think you are seeing right now, what you think you are seeing right now, you're actually not seeing right now. So, for example, sun. Are you seeing the sun outside of your window?
Yeah.
It is there, right? You're seeing, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? If you really look at the physics of it, you're looking at the sun, which is 8 minutes old.
Okay.
Because the light, the way you see anything in life through the eye phenomena called eye is something called as a photon. This is the current understanding of the physics. Photon has to reach from that place to your eye, and light travels at that whatever 186 miles per second speed, right? 186,000, that 3 lakh kilometers per second. That's the speed with which it travels, which means that there's a distance, no? The scientists have measured the distance between sun and the earth. If you're standing here, it takes on an average about 8 minutes. Okay. So which means that the light that is reaching your eyes now is the light that left the sun 8 minutes ago. Which means that you're actually seeing not the current sun, but a sun which was as of 8 minutes. Now, in a similar way, if you look at a star is millions of light years away, which means that what you're seeing today is how that star was millions of years back. Today, how it is, nobody knows. And now if you apply that logic to something that is right in front of you. Okay, so you may say, I am seeing this flute right now in front of me. But even from here to this so-called eye, there is a distance. And the light takes some time. It may be in short time. It may be in nanoseconds. But still there is a time gap, which means that whatever you look at in your so-called mind is always nothing but a snapshot of the object that was ever there. And you're dealing with your memory constantly. The way you interpret that is how you're constantly dealing with it. So, in that sense, your way of feeling is your own making. Is all that drishti and srishti is saying. So have the right drishti. What is the right drishti? The jnana drishti. What is that? That you are the light in whose presence, you are the awareness in whose presence all this understanding is occurring. You are that light which is self-aware, which is awareness itself, because Ultimately, all these memory objects, all these pictures, they don't speak. But when the picture comes into your place called mind, suddenly something called as a knowledge appears. Jnana appears. So from where it is appearing? That very source is you. Realize that. And the nature of the world is of a constant change. Realize that. So how does it matter what picture comes and what picture goes? How does it matter to the screen, whether it is Rajkumar movie or Vajramani movie or a horror movie or a thriller movie or a sad movie? It doesn't matter. Picture comes and goes.
Yes, sir.
Anything else anybody wants to share on this topic? Satya ji, Ashwini ji, Shubha ji.
Nothing much really.
All right. Shubha ji, is there any punch?
No, sir.
Panchnama is there. You know what is Panchnama? The police come and write a report. It's called a Panchnama report. So what they observed, what was there. So they write a Panchnama report. Wonderful. Shailaja ji, is there something that you would like to add?
Vijay ji, I had one question.
Yes.
It may not be related to this, but is the Sakshi and Prabhuji says first Sakshi Bhava is also not real Sakshi. It is still, there is something like a Bhava. So
Correct.
Sakshi and the screen on which the movie is played, is Sakshi.
Sorry, the last part was not heard clearly. Can you say it again?
Is Sakshi the screen on which the whole movie is being played?
Is
Or
Sakshi
is Sakshi looking at the whole movie which is being played?
the whole movie is being played? Or is Sakshi the seer of the movie? Is this the question?
Yeah, yes.
Is Sakshi the screen on which the whole movie is being played? Or is Sakshi the seer of the movie? Okay, wonderful. What does our Vedantin's viewpoint is?
So can I start?
Yes.
So my understanding is Brahman is the screen on which the movie is being played, and Sakshi is the seer of the movie. So there is one level beyond Sakshi. After Sakshi, you should go even beyond that, and then you go to Brahman. So Sakshi is I think the I am, and then you go to I. That's my understanding.
So your viewpoint is Sakshi is not the screen. The screen is Brahman.
Yeah, you have to go beyond that.
And Sakshi is the I am feeling.
I'm not sure about that, if that is correct. Is it that, or is it even below that? I don't know. But finally, I is the one.
That is your current viewpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Padmaji.
No, so I was coming to, I wanted to ask Ashwini ji, when you say, you say I am Brahman, then how are you saying that they both are different? Because what you essentially said now is they both are different, isn't it? You talked about the levels.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to understand why you say that, because I am Brahman is what is our truth, right?
that is also I am. Like you said, I am is Sakshi, and then you go beyond that. You go
No,
to
because
I.
it's all theoretical from what I've heard from Guruji.
Yeah, no. But I'm just
So,
trying to understand that part. Why you said that? Yeah.
no, this is from the theory from which I've heard from Guruji, is that there is something beyond the I am also. There is the initial I feeling from when you wake up, that I am comes. Okay,
Okay.
first is only I, and then when you wake up in the morning, the I am feeling comes, and then this whole game comes up. So there is first you go to the step, you go backwards. You are Sakshi, you are witnessing the whole thing, but Sakshi is not the ultimate. You have to go even beyond that, which I'm not yet. It's only theory for me right now. So only Guruji and Vijayji and others will know it. So only Gyani will know that there is something even beyond that.
No,
That
but
is,
when you say, see, when you wake up, it is not just there is not just a witness there, right? When you say I am after you wake up, it also now brings into the consideration of your body and mind. When you wake up, it is all
that's why there's this
it's
confusion
all
of I
three.
am and thing. No, that's what I'm not really sure about this I am. Let's not put this I am and I think, but only the Sakshi, and there's something beyond the Sakshi. Because I'm really confused
Okay.
about this I am and I'm
So
this
you
and that
think
relation.
that it is two levels, right? You say that Sakshi is one, and beyond that is Brahman. Is what you're saying. Okay.
All right, wonderful. Sarvanji, your view. Sorry, Padmaji, you didn't share your view.
Yeah. So, sir, I think it is the same. I think because for me Sakshi and Brahman is same. So for me, I am the screen, I am the light, sir.
I am the screen and I am the light.
Yeah. That's how, I mean, I understand.
Very nice. Sarvanji?
Sorry,
But sir,
just adding.
Yeah, but I want you to clarify what Ashwini ji said, because I don't I listen to it, but I'm not able to like.
Yeah, even I need clarity there.
Usually when it is said as I am, right? So the I is related to the pure essence, the one which is beyond the cause and effect. Okay. So the nirguna, the substratum, and the I am is a feeling, right? So see, in order to say I am, there is this question was brought up earlier by our Shubhaji, no? If you recall. Shubhaji, are you there?
Such discussion.
Yes, sir.
During the Satchitananda.
Yeah.
So existence and consciousness, these are the two terms.
Yes.
In I am. Okay. Yeah. Shubhaji, please clarify.
I is the consciousness and am is the existence.
Yeah.
Is what,
Yeah.
So something must be there. So it is like this. There are okay, let's look at the Brahman aspect. So something must be there, right? Something must be there. Otherwise, how can all these phenomena come out of thin air? Something must be there. Okay, so that something, but it is not a thing like how you want to see through the senses. So it is not a thing. That something, that sad vastu, that truth, that it is referred as object in this sentence, but it is that vastu. Okay, it is referred as an object, but it is not really like an inert object. It is a conscious object. It is the very source of the consciousness. So in the I am, the amness is the existential, that is the sat part. The I is the chit part, the consciousness part. So the truth is Sat, Chit and Ananda, right? Ananda because it is Ananta. It is infinite because there is no boundary for it. But right now, if you focus on the Sat and Chit, so the I and the am refers to the Sat, I refers to the Chit.
Yeah. So that is why my answer, sir, that I am the screen and I am also the light.
Yeah. That is what your viewpoint is. Yeah.
But just one point I want to. But Brahman is he doesn't know. He's Nirguna, and he doesn't even know that the screen exists. See, Sakshi is a seer. He knows that something is going on. But Brahman is beyond that. He doesn't even know that there is a screen exists. There is something going on. So that's why it takes that's why God, the Lord, comes as different things to experience the movie.
Yeah. So it's like, your deep sleep. In the deep sleep, there is no nothing else. Only that easiness. That's all that is, right? And who is saying that? The one who wakes up after the deep sleep says, okay, there was a deep sleep, and during the deep sleep there was nothing. And once when you start seeing it through the Vedanta Jnana, then you realize that is who I am truly. The rest, everything else is the coming and going aspect of that same I. It appears and disappears. On the movie screen, there is a character appearing. What is a character? It's nothing but light only. Because there's nothing else that is the source of that character on the screen. The only source, the only possible source is light. So therefore, what exists? Only light exists. But how it appears as each of the character. So there is no distinction. So it's all a viewpoint of, okay, I see a character. So I can keep looking at only a character and then say, this character is nice, this character is not nice. Then I have got involved with the character and the memory of it. But when I realize that the character is nothing but the light, just like how the dream world is made up of who is the creator of the dream world, who is only there during the dream, only you are there. But all those characters appear with all those vivid colors, places, movements. So everything is there. So the only possible answer there, that on from whom it is appearing? From you. In whom it is appearing? In you. So in a similar way, what is this movie? Is nothing but Brahman only. Just like how any character on the screen cannot be other than light. But when you take only a look at that character, you may say, no, it's that character. But if you slightly zoom back and see from how the character is getting created, you can see that the character is nothing but light, but in different colors. Just like how white light appears as the 7 colors of the rainbow, you may see only red color and say red color is there. But is red color really there? It is there only because the light is there and it is passing through the prism, and it is a temporary phenomena of appearing as red. It is not a truly existing thing. It is not a permanent reality, that red color rainbow that appears. Or what are the colors in the rainbow, those which appear? They appear as long as the prism is there and the right conditions are there. But they eventually go away. But what you can say, light is there. So in a similar way, the movie is nothing but a play of all this light. Yes, Padmaji.
Sir, can you also bring the screen into the thing?
Yeah.
Because
So
light is okay, but without the screen.
So again, when we use
the
analogies, right? When we use analogies to know about Brahman, we have to take the analogy thus far. So the imagination may come in our mind that, okay, there is Brahman, and suddenly he projects one big screen.
No. Why I'm saying is because the question is like that, right?
No, it is an analogy to bring clarity to
the light. So from that perspective, I want to understand.
So now, therefore, Okay, let's look at the screen. Where is the screen? Where are you seeing the movie? Where are you?
Within me. Yeah.
Within you means what? In what you refer as a place called mind. Now, please look at what you are referring as mind. What are you referring as mind? It is something that seems to be appearing in your awareness. Is it not? What is mind? It is something that seems to be appearing in your awareness. Whatever that is appearing in your awareness, can it be different from you? What is the source of that? What is making that? You are there. So even this is the power of that awareness, that there is the ability to create a screen called as a mind. But you know that there are stages of no mind, mean pure awareness of I am there, but no image. So then that is the pointer to say something else, which is the permanent,
Beyond the mind.
beyond the so-called mind. But the way we may be thinking is they are two different objects, that I can separate them, that I can cut one from another. Mind cannot be cut from you. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, mind is nothing but awareness where you have created certain false restrictions. When you, awareness, which is actually no restrictions, when you put a restriction, when you put a boundary, it becomes the mind. When you impose limitations, it becomes the mind. When there are no limitations, it is pure awareness. It is like, for example, there is only space, and you bring 4 walls and you say, this is my house. What is there? Only space. But what you have done and what I have done, we put 4 walls and said, my house. This is my house. But what is really there? Only space. Just because you framed it by 4 walls, has it removed the space? Has it done anything to the space? No. It's only a temporary false restriction that you and I have put on space. And I'm calling it as, this is Padmaji's house, this is Shravanji's house, XYZ, XYZ. That is this space used to be maybe a king's palace. Doesn't matter. It's all your own limitation that you're imposing on the space. That is a house. Similarly, mind is a restriction or a limitation that you're imposing on awareness. And that is also from the power of the awareness only. And to know that, that restriction or the false sense of boundary is also not there, is also the power of the awareness only. So when that, in that awareness, when there is ignorance, it gives a very real sense of restriction. And when that ignorance goes away, it brings the clarity about the whole picture.
Okay, so when I said that I am the screen and I am the light, in that isn't that completely right? The right.
You are the screen. You are the light. You are the characters. You are then among the characters. In order to help somebody come out of the suffering, a Sakshi Bhava is given as a teaching methodology by the Sadguru. Because otherwise, I get identified with this character on the screen.
Yeah.
So in order to remove the identification, Sakshi Bhava is given as a practice. Watch the movie. Why are you getting involved with the movie? Movie is simply something that is playing on the screen. You are that prekshaka, you are that audience. You can whistle, but it is not happening to you. It's a first level understanding.
Yeah, so it is similar to the other prakriyas that we use,
Yes.
right? But eventually you have to let go of the prakriya itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
so
sir.
there is there truly a Sakshi? Is there truly a Sakshi? In a sense, is there truly someone who is watching? Who is that? Then the
No,
only
there is
answer,
only light.
the only answer is light, awareness. So it's all that is appearing in awareness. But as a GV, as an identification with some situations on the screen, as a GV, how to help me come out of that identification? So Sadhguru taught me, be a Sakshi, be a witness, be a witness. Then, I asked, okay, why all this is happening? Okay, this is because of the cause and effect. You must have done something. So now don't worry, be a Sakshi. Whatever is happening, let it happen. Why are you worried what is happening on the movie? You are not the movie. It is, but I want to know, okay, because of something that you did, you put a seed and a tree comes. So don't worry, just watch the tree. Just watch the fruit. Don't try to now pluck the fruit. Now what I should do? Now what do you want? Do you want suffering? Then play with the creation. You want to be free? Be a Sakshi. Let whatever come, be a Sakshi.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Because I think one more question also you answered. I had that question. Is it necessarily, is it even needed to see cause and effect, drishti, srishti? That was also one of my questions that you answered now. So, yeah. And whatever you said now brought clarity, because that is how I understood after watching Guruji's Prakriya video. With the talk he did on the prakriyas, that is what I understood, that this is also it's also similar to a prakriya, the Sakshi Bhava itself. So yeah, thanks for the clarity, sir. Yeah.
Sure. So like that camel rope story, no, we've tied ourselves in various conceptual knots, and the only way to remove the conceptual knots is by bringing in that labeling approach, the Adhyaropa Apavada that Guruji refers, right? So create something, and then okay, Sakshi. Okay, so now you're looking at the label called Sakshi. So it's like gradually shifting you from I am suffering, I'm suffering. Okay, so you're not suffering really. The Sadguru knows you're not suffering, but you feel the pain, and you are mentally in agitation. So how to help you? How to help me? So Sadguru gives a label called Sakshi. Okay, so now be a Sakshi. Okay, so the moment I shift my identity from a mother, father, husband, wife, whatever, to a Sakshi, that's also in one sense, in a beginning stage, an identity. But now it's a broader identity. It is something that is able to encompass all the vagaries of different roles. Thus far, when I was a particular role, other roles caused conflict with me, right? As a mother, I may have a tiff with my son. As a father, I may have a tiff with my maybe my child. So like that, as a particular identity, I will have frictions. So therefore, Sadhguru helped to say, okay, look, you are that which is encompassing all the roles. Okay, so you are that stage on which the drama is being played. Now watch the drama. So there is a relief. There is a relief from being identified with a particular character. Now it is easier to negate that even Sakshi Bhava is a practice. Because what is truly there? Only light is there. Everything else is you and I are creating. Satyaji, is there anything more that you would like to add?
Sakshi Bhava is a practice, yes.
Yeah.
Because as you said, to overcome all the other bondings, bindings, and to come out of that, that is a big relief given. That immediately with the snap of the finger, you come back to Sakshi Bhava. Sakshi Bhava is a yoga, it is a practice. I'm talking about what is Sakshi. So from Sakshi Bhava, there is a
who's practicing the Sakshi Bhava?
Any practice is done by the mind.
Ego.
All the practices of silence or being a Sakshi with Sakshi Bhava, all these are practices by the mind to attain that Shat Sampatti at some point of time.
Yeah. And when you use the word mind, no, Satyaji, when you use the mind, who in the mind, there is certain identity.
The small I, it tries to, the small I has to dissolve itself. That is the whole goal of the game.
Correct.
So in that process, the small I has to have something in hand for an identity. So instead of mother identity, father identity, brother, sister identity, or son, daughter, this is a better identity that I am none of this. That is Sakshi Bhava. So from Sakshi Bhava, there is Sakshi. There is a stage where, see, sometimes you eat a particular type of food and slowly you are called a vegan.
Yeah.
You eat a certain, so any practice which you do for 21 days, slowly it becomes your nature.
Yeah.
So from habit to nature.
Yeah.
So Sakshi Bhava is a habit, Sakshi is the nature.
Yeah.
So that evolution.
Now, who is Sakshi?
Sakshi is not someone, it is not someone, but it is like the self. The self itself has a light. It is seeing everything.
Correct.
It is the seer behind the seeing.
It is a seer, it is a screen, it is a character.
So do you say, so when I'm saying this, to the extent of Sakshi, I think I have an idea about, from Sakshi Bhava to Sakshi. Sakshi means, again, there is no Bhava there. It is what it is, that's all. So it is the light.
You realize
it is the light.
It is you realizing that there is no more a practice needed. My very nature is Sakshi.
Exactly. From habit to nature. That is fine. And when the whole thing is being played, and as awareness, as Sakshi itself is awareness, it is consciousness, it is the light, I can say. Now, can I refer to the screen as the mind on which the whole thing is playing, or should I say the screen itself is Sakshi? So on the screen of consciousness, the whole play is being played?
Yeah, because ultimately there is no other object to create any of the phenomena. It's like, for example, saying that we give the example of various golden ornaments. No, if you have made a, say, necklace or a earring, in a way, gold is already there. You cannot separate gold from the ornament. Just like how you cannot separate water from the wave.
Yeah.
Water is appearing as wave, is appearing as ocean, but its fundamental, essential nature is water.
Okay, so can I put it like this? Ornament is nothing but gold.
Yeah.
The movie is nothing but the screen.
The movie is nothing but the light.
The movie is nothing but the light. Okay. Now, when a movie is being played, you can't separate a screen and a movie. The screen, the movie itself is the screen. You are looking at a movie. No, you are looking at a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you are looking at the light.
Yeah.
So in that case, what exactly? So the movie doesn't stop. Okay, whatever movie is happening, even now, this is not stopping. It is the only thing is because I am Sakshi, I am aware that the movie is happening.
Yeah.
The movie is happening. It is not happening to me.
Yeah, it is happening. It is happening in my awareness.
So because
And
I'm
whatever
seeing
is
the movie is
happening,
happening. Yeah.
whatever is happening is also, that is what Vedanta gives you and me, is Maya Shakti of the Ishvara.
Yes.
This is the projection power that is inherently already with you.
Yeah. So because I'm seeing the movie is playing, if conscious is not there, the movie also is not there.
Correct.
So this part of clarity is there, but when I'm saying the screen, the movie is being played on a surface.
Yeah.
Is that surface I?
Of course, there cannot be any other object.
Okay, because so the movie also is I. It's like everything is Brahman.
Yeah, like any ornament is nothing but gold.
Okay, so everything is Brahman. The screen is also Brahman. The movie that is being played is also Brahman. And the one who knows all this is also Brahman.
Yeah. So therefore, there is none other than Brahman.
Okay. So just like I am there, so the world is there. So in the world, there is, you can say there is a screen, there is a tiger, there is a tree, there is a forest. In the presence of consciousness, in the presence of this light. So in the presence of presence itself, the whole world exists. Yeah.
And the so-called whole world is like a projection, and that's
projection of the consciousness.
That is as you go further in the Dakshinamurthy Stotra, right? See here, Bijasya antara ivankuro jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punaha. This world is like a sprout of a seed within which transforms what is changeless state before. So what is changeless? Nirguna nirakara. So silence. So what is changeless before? That seems to...
Sorry, sir. Sir, could you please again say that shloka and what you were saying? Sorry.
No,
I had some problem. Yeah.
So this is referring to the Dakshinamurthy Stotra. We are still in the Dhyana shloka. As we go further into the actual shlokas, this is the second shloka. So, now that we've come there, maybe we will just quickly look at the first shloka and then come to the second. What the first shloka says? Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam. The entire world is like a lake, like a city seen within a mirror, right? And it is happening where? In one's own being. So it's the entire world you are seeing only within you. Pashyan atmani mayaya bahirivod bhutam yatha nidraya. It is a witnessing happening within the Atman of the externally projected world, projected by the power of the Maya, as if a dream in sleep. Just like how you see a dream, like that, you are projecting this world. It sounds miraculous, but that is how it is. It sounds like one of those Inception kind of a movies, but that is the reality. Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanam evadvayam. And one experiences this directly. What? This play of the Maya during spiritual awakening within the non-dual expanse of one's own Atman. What does it mean? It means that when you apply the jnana of the Sadguru, when you listen to the Sadguru's jnana, and in that viveka, you can clearly see that is the moment of awakening, spiritual awakening. In that awakening, you can see that there is only pure awareness. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye. And for you to know that, where that Guru must be? Within you. So the Guru within you is personified as Sri Dakshinamurti. So what is within you is what is appearing outside. How? That is where the next shloka begins. Bijasyantara ivankuro jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punaha. This world, whatever this world, So when does this world appear? As soon as you wake up in the morning, patash, whatever you have been thinking, doing, like that your world appears. Yesterday night, when you went to sleep, whatever you had thought and how you thought your life situation is, tuck, like that, this world appears. What a wonderful phenomenon that is happening. Maya kalpita desha kala kalana vaichitya chitri kritam. As space and time and endless varieties of pictures over it, all due to the creation of Maya. So this, when you go into today's modern theory of relativity, there's a concept called as space-time. We think of space and time as two different things, but the concept is actually space-time. Time and space are like the two sides of the same coin. So it's, for example, many a times while traveling, if you're in a good company, you may feel that time and that entire even if the journey was for say 600 kilometers, you may feel that it just passed. It was just like one flick of a second. My God, such a nice time we had, but it all just went like that. So in that sense, space and time, and also in reality, they are not two separate things. So this entire thing is projected onto this fabric of space and time. So the screen, what you call as a screen, with respect to a movie, in a way, again, it's an analogy. We should not think of it as a separate thing. But the screen is nothing but this space-time. And what is the movie? All the impressions. Mayavi iva vijrumbayatye api mahayogi iva ya swechaya. And this unfolding of the world from the seed is like a play of a magician. And who is aware of this entire thing? Mahayogi. And the Mahayogi is able to do this out of his free will. Like how a spider weaves the web. But until the mind is not pure, in the sense, as long as my identity, my clarity, my own awakening is still, or my identity is still as a limited, it is not referring to that. It is referring to the Mahayogi, the one who is awakened. Means what? When I have realized the truth. And what is the state of such a being, of a Sadguru? He creates the world at his free will. I don't want to quote too many examples, but because it will all start creating a lot of imaginations. But in the presence of Sadguru, you may have seen certain phenomena happening, which all may look like, I said and it somehow happened. Or he said and it happened. Many of you may have such experiences. Or in your own life, sometimes you have such experiences. I said and it happened. I just thought about it and it happened. So when the awakening has not yet happened, it may feel like a magical play. And for the one who has awakened, that is how life is. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurthy. So Satyaji, is this bringing clarity?
Yes, Vijayji. I understood that the screen, the movie, everything is Sakshi itself. Sakshi is nothing but the consciousness in the presence of which everything is happening.
Yeah. Everything else gets their consciousness because of the presence of the consciousness.
Yeah.
To put it in a very simple and direct terms, in your presence, everything else gets the power of your presence.
So my presence, individual presence, is
Again,
Shiva.
again, there is a concept of an individual presence as if it is separate from rest. That's also another illusion in the mind. That is as if I, as Satya Lata, exist separately from Vijay, from Saravanan, from Bangalore. So again, those are all the illusions.
So everything is consciousness, that is Brahman, in the presence of which this body, mind, or the world, the forest, everything exists and disappears.
Correct. Right now, where is Hyderabad? Right now, where is Bangalore? Where is USA? Where is Saravananji? Where is Padmaji? Where is Shubhaji for you?
Everything is in consciousness. That is, unless that is there, nothing else exists.
Correct. So that is what the first shloka said. That the entire world is like a city seen within a mirror. You are seeing in the mirror called as your mind.
Yes.
It's happening in one's own being. So it is not as if there are, okay, so now there is Satyalata, this awareness, and there is Padmaji's awareness. It is not like that.
Sir, so whatever you and Satyaji were right now discussing, is it referring to the universal consciousness and individual consciousness?
Universal consciousness only is there. Individual consciousness is a limitation because of lack of clarity. Is not truly there. Individual consciousness, there is nothing called as an individual consciousness. There is nothing called as a my home. It's all to do with the viewpoint and the analysis. My home is nothing but space only. My home is a restriction that I have placed by putting 4 walls and saying my home, my home, my home. But when I zoom up, imagine I'm looking at all these houses from a sky. Then I don't really see my house, your house. I can see that, oh, it's nothing but division that humans have created in something that is undivided called space. There's only undivided space. Humans have, for their sake of convenience, created borders. India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bhutan. My house, your house. So same phenomena. Me, you is also similar division in undivided awareness. There is no individual separate from the rest because everything exists within you. And you as in not as a body, mind, intellect. You as in that pure awareness.
Okay, so when I had the question about I mean, I can understand that how I can create my world which I am experiencing, but when I mean, sir, don't take it literally. Like I want to, I don't know how to put the question, but when I see things like war and everything happening, when I raised a question about that, that is when this universal consciousness and individual consciousness, I think you brought about once to explain. So is that also like kind of a prakriya that we use?
So see, you're okay. Let's frame the question. That way we can answer it clearly. Is the question about
So
something I'm seeing as a war? How am I creating a war? Is that your question?
Yeah, that is how I had asked about the corona, right? Why will I create something so dreadful and with so much suffering? And I think to that only you had brought this concept of universal consciousness and individual consciousness, and that is how I made sense of that. But
So an individual who has not yet awakened to his own universality will look at world in splits. My house, your house. So therefore, that play is still happening, no? As long as you were identified with that, you saw the picture that way. You saw how beautiful. I'm just using as an example. I'm not talking about you literally. You saw how beautiful and well-maintained Choba Forest view is. And the moment you step out, you say, "Oh, yo, what an ugly community." You may be thinking like that. So it is all because you thought of this is me and that is separate. This is mine and that is separate. But for whatever reason, the moment you looked at it as like, okay, I am the mayor of this entire constitution, then you started looking at this is all one, and how do I maintain this? So it's all to do with your own expansion. So the consciousness can become as small as a small atom, or even within that, or can be as huge as this entire infinite creation.
Okay.
Maybe I just want to add my view also.
Yeah.
It is when one gets attached to what is going on in the world, it's still like you're seeing it as real. While what we have seen is only the dreamer is real, and whatever the world that is appearing in the dream, it is out of Maya, just getting created, and you will never get affected, and there's no one in the world, or since there is only one, there is no suffering at all. Actually, the real one cannot suffer. The real one cannot suffer. There is no real suffering.
And it is this duality of the play of the different day and night that helps you to realize that there is something beyond the day and night. It is a duality of the good and the bad that helps you to realize that there is something beyond that. So if the duality did not exist, there is no way to, for example, if there was only space, okay, there was only space, no houses, no divisions, no division at all, pure space. There is no way to know about the power of the space. There is no way to know that the space is like a canvas on which anything can be created. So in a very childlike manner of explaining, you can say that why would you want to get toys if you don't want to play with it? What is the use of having the toys if you don't play with it? So in a way, you can say, I'm playing with it. And how you want to play with it, you decide. You can play doctor game. You can play the kitchen game. You can play, some children play war game. Some children play birds game. Which game? Padmaji, is it bringing clarity?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else? Shubhaji, Satyaji, Rupaji, Shailajaji?
No, sir.
Shailajaji, is this all making sense, or is it too much?
It's actually some of the topics, questions which they raise, it's very interesting and it's a knowledge sharing as well, sir, for me.
All right. So then shall we end our today's contemplation? Hari Om.